Hello Leeds United fans, hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's day 2 of kit day. Hope you've managed to cop yours. Make sure you check out the video from earlier on today. We speak about Hanover, we speak about systems, we speak about players, we speak about all these discussion points, debate, discourse, of which makes you guys all very, very happy. Where are Leeds going to go? Where are Leeds not going to go? We've got Nancy on the channel tomorrow, the Athletic Leeds United journalist on midday, from midday I should say. Please make sure you come in and check in that out. And I'm here to speak about the latest rumour. We were speaking earlier on about potentially Leeds United doing something within the midfield space. Go check that video out. As I've mentioned, everybody, we try to get into the finer details of why Leeds United need to do that, how that balance needs to be corrected, and if we go into the season right now, is it going to be good enough? Questions there, questions everywhere when it comes to that. Now, when it comes to Leeds United, when it comes to right now how we're going to go about that midfield, it looks like apparently Builder reporting, pretty solid source when it comes to it, German, the #1 German publication with Kicker, that we have tabled a bid for Dejan Ljubicic, get that correct. And I've actually watched him live, not knowing this, going back through the archives of this season and figuring out that I did actually watch FC Koln play against Mönchengladbach, and I believe Ljubicic was actually playing. So, yeah, I'll be brutally honest with you guys, I can't remember him standing out as such. I remember on that day for Mönchengladbach just trying to find Max Verber and not being able to find him. But on that day, Cologne won 3-1. Now, there was a player in midfield who was standing out quite a bit, a blonde-haired lad, and honestly, I couldn't profess to know his name, but it definitely wasn't Ljubicic. I've already checked that one out. He was absolutely fantastic. Let me just open this door because it is a bit warm in here. But yeah. Overall, everybody, I'm really happy that we're going for that profile in terms of just a midfielder who can get forward, who can add goals to Leeds United's midfield. Now, he's not a prolific goal scorer, but he has played at Bundesliga 1 level. Now, I was mentioning on Twitter earlier on, and I've said this several times, I know a lot of you guys get really frustrated by it, which is fair enough, but I've mentioned a profile who I think would really do well for the balance in midfield, and that is Lewis O'Brien. I've mentioned several times that, you know, he's obviously played for Middlesbrough, which didn't quite work out for him last season, but I feel in a really good environment, a really balanced environment where his fitness got to the level which it was pre-injury in 2023. I feel like he'd be a real addition. I feel that balance would be really nice in our midfield as well. We could go to a 3 as well with O'Brien at the tip of that 3. He could work defensively, and look, he's in the like 80+ percentile when it comes to forward passes and getting that accurate balance in the midfield. I think he's a really good option for £5 million or on loan. Now, I understand it's not a glossy signing. I understand you're all probably thinking, well, that doesn't sound like an Itch or an Enio or whatever, but I think O'Brien just works. And, you know, when I look at Ljubicic, I think to myself, you know, his stats are decent. Are they sort of stats where I'd look upon and think, wow, he's going to make a massive difference? Well, you've really got to take a step down because he's been playing at the top level. Cologne were relegated this season. I remember, you know, there was a lot of discourse about Ethan Ampadu when Ethan Ampadu got relegated and, you know, he wasn't good enough. 3 successive relegations on his CV. Why do we want him? So you can't really judge him on that. But yeah, he would be the furthest forward out of that midfield. I guess the question's going to be, you know, is there better options and would Leeds go for him again? There's rumours that Leeds are going to go in with another bid. It was €4 million. So yeah, everyone, it's an interesting one because off the back of the video this morning when we were talking about the balance of the midfield, I do feel like Rothwell is a good player. I do think he's a good player. He's a runner. He's got a lot of technical ability, clearly. His Blackburn days, he was seen as one of the top players in the division. After watching the replay yesterday, I'm happy with how he is on the ball. I think he mirrors Kamara in terms of how silky he is in possession. And he's a runner. But I do maybe question, is he enough? Does he pack the punch in the midfield? Have we got a puncher in the midfield who can unlock defences? And I look at Ljubicic and I think, is he that player? Now, we've spoken, as I've just mentioned before, the key stat for someone like Lewis O'Brien, I'm just using him as an example, is the fact that he has this 80% plus percentile in the final third. Now, what that means, everybody, is when he's making pass completions, it's not just side to side, it's in the final third. He's an excellent ball carrier, a superb ball carrier, backed up by stat after stat after stat on FB Ref. And it's just an example. We wouldn't have to go down the Lewis O'Brien route, but that is what we need for me. You need a player who is going to be able to almost pick the lock of a defence. And if you're not going for an out-and-out number 10, you need a double pivot player if we are going to play a 4-2-3-1 system, or someone maybe at the you know, as a balance of a midfield too, in a 3-4-3, which was spoken about, one going, one staying. Needs to be someone who can be solid defensively, which Jobicic, I don't know if he is that, from the research I've been doing online and you know, speaking about it. I wonder if he is that, but I also wonder if he is that. Is he that lock picker that we need? Because we've already got Rutter in there, as he's going to be the 10, isn't he? If he sticks around, which I presume he will be. You've got Somerville if he sticks around, Nonto, and then, you know, you've got dotted around, you've got Peru, you've got others, etc., etc. But from that deep lying midfield, this is where you need, if we are going to play a 4-2-3-1, which we did against Hanover, you need a player in there who's going to break the lines, which Kamara did do to a certain effect. But what was the problem? It was the line breaker with effect. It was, will he have a shot on goal? Jobicic will do that. Lewis O'Brien will do that. You know, making that killer pass. I'm not 100% sure on Jobicic in terms of his effectiveness in the final third. I'll have to do some FB ref research. But for someone who we know and has acclimatised to the Championship before, for a loan deal or below 5 million quid, very risk averse, would add a nice balance. We know that Lewis O'Brien's ball carries have always been one of the top in the Championship, and his attacking potential as a central midfielder is extremely high. So that's just an example, everybody. I know some of you won't like the name of Lewis O'Brien, and maybe there's glossier names out there, I understand that. But I would err on caution. You know, you've got Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United all after Lewis O'Brien. I just wonder if we could maybe knock on that door a little bit. And with someone who is effective in the final third, as he is, could that be just a more efficient signing than someone like Jobicic? I could be wrong. Definitely could be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong, but it's just these sort of like the names that you sometimes hear. You just want to hear the names of people who you know and will work at this level. Burrow was a completely different scenario for him last season. It didn't work whatsoever. I don't think it was a good breeding ground for him. And listen, there was a lot of players at Middlesbrough who didn't do well, aside from probably Hayden Hackney and maybe a couple of others last season. But yeah, I wonder if we were able to do that, what would happen. But let me know what you think in the comment section. But I could be wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. But Jobicic looks like a decent player. Is he the lock picker that we need from a central space? I don't know. Really don't know. Or would we, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure from what I've seen. I can't profess to have seen a lot, but from the videos I've seen, I'm not 100% sure. If you've got any alternatives, guys, let me know in the comment section. But as I say, we've got to think about not a 10 option, but probably a double pivot option who can maraud forward and then pick the lock and aid in that respect, because we are going to be going into a season where teams, I don't think, are going to be coming at us like Hanover came at us yesterday. I think teams are going to learn that that's a bad way of coming at this Leeds side. So we'll just pick you off as they did yesterday to great effect. So I think it's going to be 5-4-1s, 6-3, whatever it is, 6-3-1s in defensive blocks. So we've got to get a player, not just Rutter, who can pick that lock, but there's got to be a deep line playmaker as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, head on over to the Patreon. See you in a bit.